Alright, so I have 2 buckets of material that I got from the creek in the last video. And we're gonna run it at home because it's like 27 degrees outside. So I have 2 half full 5-gallon buckets. It's classified at 1/2 inch. Shout out to everyone who commented on the last video, and specifically the guy in Alaska who suggested that I classify smaller, because pretty much I'm running these big rocks through the sluice box at 1/2 inch, and we know that that doesn't have gold. So I'm going to classify it smaller. I picked up this 8 mesh classifier off of High Plains Prospectors. Shout out to High Plains. They didn't actually have the one that I ordered, so he gave me a call and he sent me a nicer one, still 8 mesh. He also gave me a $5 coupon, so that's pretty cool. And another guy suggested that I do an indicator mat out of some V matting, so I picked up some V matting off of High Plains Prospectors, and I'll cut this up and use it as an indicator mat. But I think the first thing that I'm going to do is classify this 1/2 inch material down to the 8 mesh before I run it all through the home setup here with the Prospector's Dream cleaning setup with the header box, the pump kit, the leg kit, and the 6x24 sluice box with the combo mat. So I'm going to classify this down and then we'll go from there. Okay, so this is the classifier that I was using. This is the 1/2 inch with, I guess Garrett. Comes in just their normal kits. But I'm going to classify all of this down to the 8 mesh from High Plains. So I'll probably just do a time lapse of this because it's not going to be the most interesting. But yeah, let's get started. Now this is the first classify of the bucket. Now take a look at all of these rocks that I'm getting out of the system that I'm not gonna have to bother running through the sluice box and panning out if it gets caught. But it's just gonna make life a whole lot easier. All of these rocks I'm not gonna have to deal with now. And we know that in Pennsylvania there's not gonna be any gold in these rocks because the gold here is really small. So we're gonna keep on going. Alright, I just finished classifying all of that 1/2 inch material down to the 8 mesh. I'm glad that went quick because it's freezing cold outside. We went from 2 like 1/2 to 3/4 full buckets down to 1/2 of 1 bucket. And now this material is really fine. It's like sand. So we're not going to be wasting our time running all of this stuff through the sluice box. So should be a lot more efficient. So the next step is I'm going to try installing an indicator mat out of this V-matting. I'm kind of winging it. I really have no clue how I'm going to install this, but we're going to figure it out. Okay, so I just finished installing the indicator mat out of that V-matting. I pretty much just put a hole where this bolt will go through and hold this plate on, which holds the mat on. There's a little gap between the header box and the indicator mat, but that's probably fine. I'll just dump it right on the mat. And we still have some extra V-matting left over if I have to redo this in the future, but I think that looks fine. Should work. We'll see. We're going to go ahead and run this 8-mesh material through the sluice box, and hopefully we get some gold. So I'll walk you guys through my home setup. We have the power for the pump, and you can adjust the voltage output to kind of get the flow just how you want it to be. That goes to this bilge pump, and then the hose goes all the way back into the header box. I gotta tighten that up some so it doesn't leak. But then we have the Prospector's Dream header box, their leg kit with the 6x24 and the combo Dream mat. So that's what I used to run at home. I just have all the tailings going right into this 5-gallon bucket. And this is a concrete mixer bucket from Lowe's. I mean, yeah, it's pretty simple and it seems to work well. So we're gonna go ahead and run this 8-mesh material through the sluice box and see what we get. Needs more flow. Let's bump that up. So the only thing with running the sluice box at home is that at some point we won't be able to see the mat anymore. The water's going to get so dirty. Let's see what the mat looks like. Okay, indicator mat. Ooh, the lighting in here is really bad. There is a lot of black sand in here, so that's a very good sign. All down through these cells is a bunch of black sand. Now this V-mat is packed full of black sand. All of this is black sand. This should be a pretty good clean out. Fingers crossed. But we're gonna keep running this bucket. We still got a good bit left in here. We're about halfway through, so let's keep on going. Okay, so I just finished running all of that material through the sluice box. This is the bucket that had all the material in it. I'm gonna fill this up with water, and then we're gonna clean all of this out into that bucket and then pan that and see what we can get. But it's looking good. There's a lot of black sand in here. All right, I popped that V-mat off. Plates off. Let's get this mat in here. That's looking pretty good. Okay, so I cleaned the mat out. I didn't see any gold right off the surface, but we're gonna work this real slow, and hopefully there's some color in here. With it classified down to the 8 mesh, there's definitely a lot less junk that I have to stratify, I think it's called. Just washing all those light rocks off the top. Okay, I'm gonna pan this back and hopefully see some color. Oh yeah, there's a little speck already. There's probably gonna be more, hopefully, but there is a little speck in there. I don't know if you can see that. Let's try zooming in. Just a little speck right there. All right, we'll keep working this. Oh yeah, there's gold in here. Okay, yeah, there's a couple good flakes. All right. It's very reflective. If you guys have any clue what this is, let me know, because I have no idea. I'm gonna put some jet dry in here because with this really small gold, it tends to float on the surface tension of the water, and this will keep that from happening. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see it, but that's a little piece right there. Fingers crossed there's more. Now without this jet dry, there's two little flakes of gold there. I bet you that would have floated all the way back in the pan if I didn't spray that jet dry in there. Those would be gone. Let's take a look at some of this gold that we're seeing. There's a couple flakes in there. There's, well, from what I'm counting, I'm seeing like 3 right now. Now it's not the best amount of gold, but it can be hit or miss here. You know, at the end of the day, I'm finding gold in Pennsylvania, so I think it's a win either way. We're not skunked, so I'm gonna keep panning this back, and we'll get a closer up. I'm counting 7 pieces of gold. I mean, shoot, we'll take it. I'll suck it up, and yeah. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Please feel free to drop a sub or a like if you want to see more videos, and let me know if you have any suggestions for future videos in the comments, because that'd be great. Thanks for watching.